Mass surveillance is not about public safety. It is not about terrorism. It is about power. It is about economic espionage. It is about diplomatic manipulation, and it is about social influence.
Just like so long as a whale is worth more dead than alive and a tree is worth more as lumber than as a tree, in this model on technology, social media today, we're worth more when we're addicted, distracted, outraged, polarized, and disinformed, because that means that we have been successfully influenced to use these products and to be successful for advertisers.
And all of this shadow operation will remain hidden because you will not ask questions, because you're so busy being entertained.
Computing all this data keeps boring me out, but I found some interesting pieces to show you. So let's take a look at phones. Since you probably use them daily, my findings will be familiar to you, and rather simple to understand for now. Let's have a look.
The more I'm thinking about it, the more like looking at your phone constantly is really only 10 years old. Right? Like 2008-ish, the iPhone came around in 2009, right? Before that, people were a little texty. Some people more texty than others. They really got into text messages. But once that iPhone came out, and once people started doing a bunch of stuff and apps and stuff on your phone, it changed the whole game.
Cell phone addiction. It's becoming more common. According to a national study, 1 in every 8 kids becomes an addict.
They feel that all of their interaction is coming through that device versus through face-to-face interaction. And again, that the negative consequences of not having it don't matter to them, that they feel that they must actually have it to feel okay.
It's hard for young people now because they're hooked. They're addicted. If you don't think you're addicted, and I'm talking about anyone, from the highest to the lowest, if you don't think you're addicted, then see if you can turn it off for a week. It got quiet in here, didn't it? Didn't it get real quiet?
So there are degrees to it. While for some it is more obvious, most people seem to be generally affected.
Dr. Mary Berg, a clinical psychologist, says you can tell when your child is addicted, when they can't do their homework because they can't put down the device. They would rather socialize with the device rather than face-to-face. And they're not sleeping because they must be using the device at all times.
It's like being plugged into electronics to the point where that's where you're getting most of your stimuli from. You're getting artificial stimuli. My concern, and this is a real concern, is that we're getting really into that, and that we're going to let it take the next step.
There are 1.5 billion people in China. 24 million of them are suspected to be addicted to technology. That is almost 3/4 of Canada's population. It is so crazy that parents are putting their children into institutions to detoxify them of technology.
Now some people want to change their use of these devices.
You know, the problem with addiction is addicts know that it's bad for them. Like, there are plenty of alcoholics who know that what they're doing is unhealthy, but they're addicted, which is why they keep doing it. I think many of us can admit that what we do is unhealthy and that it is addictive, and we may be addicted. The question is, are we putting ourselves through a regime to try and kick the addiction? So I think, you know, we're past the first step. We've admitted we've had a problem. We've got 11 steps to go. Right. But it's moving in the right direction. And I think, you know, if I was forced to make a prediction over the next couple years, I think we're going to start to see, I think it's going to come from a younger generation, not an older generation. But I think we're going to start to see a rebellion. And I think we're going to start to see more kids taking time to spend time with their friends and actively putting their phones away when they spend time with each other.
Wrapping things up, the one thing that I have found is that we really need to be connecting more with each other. One of the best times in my life so far was going away to summer camp last year, Rock Ridge Canyon, a tech-free camp. Kids were told to leave all devices at home. It was not an option. And yes, I'll admit it, it was tough to give it up for a week. But I'm glad I did, as I had the chance to go on some amazing adventures and make some real human connections with people I still talk to today. I mean, on my cell phone, of course.
So these bits were just a little reminder on what can be observed about phones and humans interacting with them. This is just a selection out of many aspects that can be examined. The next interesting question is how we can grow awareness on the matter. And eventually we want to be able to do something about it. But let's see.